Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Melanated and Educated with Dr. Jey, and that's
Dr. P.
what's up, Dr. P. How's everything going? You good? You
Life is
good?
good. Ready for, well, can't even say that I'm ready for that. It's just another day off, the 4th of July weekend.
Man.
You excited about vacation.
Yes.
So, what
Oh,
about you?
all right. Well, I'm excited too. I'm actually moving right now. So hopefully by that time, and I keep messing with my shirt. Hopefully by that time I'm a little bit more settled. I do have some places to actually go for this holiday. So this is probably going to be like one of the first holidays since quarantine slash corona D virus slash COVID slash the panini that I'm getting to celebrate a holiday. So I'm really excited about it. I have somewhere to go Saturday and on the actual day. So I'm like, I'm going to
About to have a hot girl summer.
I'm going to the streets. The streets are calling my name. Um, so I'm excited.
All of us.
Uh,
All of us.
yes. Just to get outside, it's hot where we are in Florida. It stay blazing up here and where you at too. I bet y'all hotter than we are. And it's hot. Because I've been moving the boxes outside.
It's hot.
And it's hot. Even in the shade, it's hot. So I'm excited to get out, put my feet in some water, and chill out. Sometimes when you staying busy, even though it's a blessing and you're doing all these different things, you have all these different facets of your life running at the same time. It's good to be able to take a break and just chill out. And be with family and friends. I mean, because I know this COVID has really taken a lot out of people, and
A big toll.
yes, and I'm fully vaxxed and ready to mingle. You hear what I'm saying? So
I'm fully vaxxed, but I can't mingle with anything but these sheets. No,
I
I
was
got
talking about
my
mingling
wife.
like
I have
that.
my 2 kids. Between the three of them, I'm busy and
I
but I
bet.
will have a hot dad summer.
All
Cause
right. Ew, 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 ew. Look, I'm gonna have a hot girlfriend summer. Look, I'm like, hey boyfriend, it's no COVID no more. You come down to see me, please. Come down to see me. Get on plane, boyfriend. So today our topic is melanin magic. Surviving the imposter syndrome. Ooh, man, like I wanted
it's
to talk about this. Yes. I wanted to talk about this because man, it hit me hard like recently, and it has like over my life looking back hit me not knowing what it is or how to put words to it. And it's a new what I want to say buzz phrase, but it's so apropos and I think uniquely to melanated people. um I think everybody can have a little bit of an imposter syndrome, but I think it kind of hits us heavier just because
mm-hmm.
of the way that society interacts with melanated people in general,
Yeah.
and the oppression that we face, the subtle racism and overt racism that we face, the lack of access to some spaces just because we're melanated. And I think that sometimes that messes with your mind. But for purposes of the discussion, I just wanted to kind of define to me what imposter syndrome has been. It's been knowing that you have a degree, 3 of them, by the way, that you've been an adjunct professor, that you're a dissertation coach, that people come to you for advice, they come to you for tutoring, they come to you to help their students. You do Zoom with parents, friends, family about education. You're on all types of committees and everything, leadership positions at your job when it comes down to education. And still, when you put your foot out there or you have a new opportunity to do something, something says, you don't do that? Are you sure
Right. Yeah.
that you can do that? Wait, you? I don't know. That might be too above you. that might be too hard for you. You might not be good enough to do that. You sure that they asked you for real? What if you do it and it doesn't work? How are you going to do it? And it doesn't matter, you know, how many times I've been successful in other things in that surrounding topic space or activity. It's still something that just jumps and catches me and be like, you getting too big for your britches. Girl, what? That's that's a serious thing they're asking you to do. Are you sure you're gonna put yourself out there like that? We're talking about you now, you know, you.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter about the Dr. J part. It's like, but you know, Dr. J is because you got that diploma and yeah, you did the degrees and yeah, that's cute. But you know the person who had a pajamas on in the apartment. So let's be real. You think you're gonna be able to do that? So what has it been for you? Is it the same way, Dr. P?
It pretty much is the same exact thing. Just being in different spaces and then like people calling on you as like the expert and you're like, I don't know anything about this, but literally I have a degree in it. So of course you're coming to me. Um, Being in masters and PhD classes and you have all these other people like spitting out theories and research. And I'm just like, I they made a mistake when they let me in here. In this degree, I it was a mistake. I don't know anything kind of thing. Even when I started like doing my dissertation and even when I finished, I was like, they really let me get this degree. Yeah, I'm just gonna take it and run. And if anybody asks me, I'm just, um,
You know,
just like
that
everything, like
reminds me
even with
that
my
reminds
job,
me of the lady
huh?
that goes to the store and it's like the it's a sale and she goes in and then she looks at her receipt and it's like the price is too low and she runs out to her husband like he the getaway driver and she's like, drive, drive, because she
Yes.
got all the
They
stuff
were
and she's
like,
like, I think I just stole this stuff. Yeah.
let me take this degree and run. Like even with my job, like when I teach English to international students, like and people come ask me, I'm just like, I don't know. Like and even when I know that I get like good feedback from students, when I know that like the students enjoy the class, like all of that, like even when I taught Spanish, like I was like, I'm not good at this, like, but
Wow.
apparently the students enjoyed the class and they felt like they learned. So just different situations like that. It's like you are qualified and you should be there, but you just tell yourself, no, you're not. It was by circumstance or it just happened.
So where do you think that comes from that we have the degrees that we have the experiences, whether voluntary, at church and professionally, and we still are like, are you serious? Like, you really gonna try to do this? Like, I think they made a mistake. Like, where do you think that comes from?
I don't know. For me, I feel like at least for like the master's and PhD and the whole defense process, like defending, it comes from that because it's like, well, maybe I don't know. Like you just psyching yourself out, and then just being denied out of education for so long is like, yeah, they really wasn't supposed to let me in here. I don't even know what I'm doing. Like just having that self doubt, even though like we've talked about this, like you do school, like this is what we do. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like we excel at school. I guess I can only assume like it may be a little bit deeper, just being denied out of these spaces for so long, and then once we get in, it's like, okay, maybe what you said was true. I'm really not supposed to be here, but no, because you wouldn't have made it through if you weren't supposed to be.
That's a good point. So I think that that's very true. I think that the way that society is set up, it's been a standard for so long for people to just state or put out into the atmosphere that melanated people are inferior, in education, in science, especially Black women. and math, engineering, so I got the double whammy. And then, when you find yourself, well, I should say, especially when you find yourself in a place where you're the only melanated person, it's kind of like, did I sneak through the back door? Like, what in the world? Like, am I really, in all of your accolades and your degrees, like, go out of your mind at that time. And I think sometimes, even if you're working in a job that does not allow you to explore all of your talents, if you go for a different position and then you get called for that interview, I've experienced even being like,
Yes.
wait, they want to interview me and send me to the second round. Me? But when you've been, I think it comes down to when you've been oppressed in some way for so long and kept in a box where your talents have been denied, you start denying them as well. And like, that's a scary place to be. One of the things that happened recently is even this YouTube channel, because like I told the story on the welcome video, I was like, I was trying to hide it from you to ask if you wanted to do it, because I was really like, man, what you think about doing a YouTube? Who are you to do a YouTube channel? Just, ask Pollock, because God said you're supposed to ask him, but try to hide it from him so he ain't gonna see it. You ask him though, so it ain't like God can be like, you ain't ask him, even though you put it on Instagram and he ain't hardly on there. And then you saw that thing and you were like, yes, right away. And I was just like, oh, what? He said, yes, so we actually gonna do this? And I'm like, well, what about subscribers? What about viewers? What about if we don't get any numbers? What about, all of that started piling on. And I'm like, well, who are you to just come up with a YouTube channel and name it Melanated and Educated and decide that you're going to be some authority or share your experiences? Who cares about your experiences in education? And how are you going to help people? And it's like, you do this for your job as a faculty member at a university. You tell people how to pick the right major, what college and school they should be in the school. You train the other advisors and the students and professors.
Yeah.
Why do you doubt yourself like that? So it was really me sharing that I was doubting myself with others in my village who know me and know me
Yeah.
well, to pull me out, because they were like, are you tripping? Like, it's so funny how you see yourself and then how other people around you see you. And so I think that's what really pulled me out, because they were like, what? You are outstanding. Like, you're helping me with my dissertation right now. Like, are you crazy? Like, the stuff that you told me helped my daughter, who goes to your university right now, to make sure that she had all her stuff in correctly, because she was about to miss out on some money.
Yeah.
So yes, you are an authority, dude. And then I got threatened by some people, because you got to have those people in your village too that threaten you and be like, I'm not going to allow you not to. Yeah, him.
Yes, I will definitely threaten you.
I'm not gonna allow you to not do this because you got this. So was it the same for you? Like, when you had your imposter syndrome moments, what pushed you out?
Yeah, so it took like a professor. Well, no. So my professor got me connected with someone that was like in my field, and that person, just started mentoring me, talking to me, and I was telling her about, just the imposter syndrome. She's like, a lot of us go through it, unfortunately, but you have to realize that you are the expert in your field. Like, nobody can take that away from you. And like we were talking about, like, even in classes, think about when you were in your PhD and master's classes, like, you always had those certain students who they just knew every theory or all of da 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 da. And she was like, they only knew specific things. Like, if you would ask them another question, they probably wouldn't know. So be confident in the information that you do know, because you're the expert. There is nobody, you know, that is well versed in your subject area like you. Like, you chose your methods, you chose the area that you research, you like all of those components. Like, no one can tell you any different. So that definitely empowered me after the PhD, but also during the PhD when it came to my dissertation defense. They were like, what you nervous for? I think that was you that said that to me. Like,
Yeah,
what are you nervous for? Like, this is a conversation, bro. Like, calm down. Like, you have did everything that you needed to do. Right now, you're explaining to them what were your results, what were your findings. Like, nobody can argue what you found. It's
exactly.
you just telling them, and the only thing they can say is like, okay, I would prefer to see it in this format, or like change your writing. Because even with that too, like I wasn't very confident in my writing, and I felt like I was a good writer,
Yeah.
but I didn't have the academic tone.
Okay.
And so it literally took one of my professors, like she's my writer though, like she like basically was like, okay, when they're saying this, like pretty much like write how you normally write, and then like take these words to like include them in your paper, and that's how you get the academic tone. So instead of like dealing with this stuff, like this study focuses on
Yeah.
this, like just changing the way you speak
The
in your
vernacular.
right, like instead of it being like, yeah, your vernacular, instead of being like you're writing how you speak, you're changing to have a more academic tone. And so she worked with me for like 3 or 4 weeks, and like literally after that, like my professor was like, oh, this is really good academic tone, da da da.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. Like it took, another melanated person sitting down with me for
Yeah.
that. um and then like I said, like once I, got out the PhD, and then one of my previous bosses like, do you know that you actually have a good track record? Like I've called all of your former employees, and I was like, people actually do that. She's like, I call all of your former employees, and they've all had nothing but good things to say about you. And I was like, oh, they're like, that doesn't happen. So you know what you're doing. Like I'm not choosing you because I'm like, I like him, he's cool. No, like clearly you're qualified. You've done great jobs wherever gone.
Yeah.
And the fact that you can have your bosses like speak and rave about you, that shows something. And so it took those little things for me to be like, all right, stop tripping. Like you know what you're doing.
Absolutely.
So that helped me to get out of that whole imposter syndrome. So now I'm like, I'm the ish, like not trying to be like super cocky or anything like
Right.
that, but like I got this, What about you?
I think I still have those moments. I think like in employment situations, one of the things that my sister said was they called you for the interview because they saw something in you. And so you're qualified because they called you for the interview. So that really stuck out with me. And I'm like, okay, well, if they called me and they saw that I could do it. Another thing has definitely been doing it scared anyway. I think that if anything comes out of this um, episode, do it scared. Do
Yeah.
it anyway, even if it
Yeah.
creeps up on you, do it anyway. Because a lot of the times when we're afraid of what could happen, or that it's not going to be good, or that somebody made a mistake by picking us, we have all these things conjured up in our heads, and none of those things happen. Like none of those things are accurate. None of those things are making a difference or have any bearing on anything that we're doing. They're all wrong. They don't happen. And
Mm.
we excel. I think that in our lives, we are also taught as Christians and as melanated people to be humble. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that sometimes we're humble to a fault. I
Yeah.
like where we are right now, like especially with all the Black ladies that are going to be in the Olympic Games.
Yeah.
And
It looked
you
good.
see it,
I
I
love it.
got it. No shame. Like, yes, I'm the bomb.com. I did this. I got this. I run this. I think that that really helps. I think having people that are in your village that are like that as well definitely helps to push you out of your comfort zone to do that. I think, and to feel that way about you. I think I saw this video of this little boy, and the teacher was trying to get them to say their numbers, and the boy's name was I think his name was King. And every time his friend got one of the numbers right, he was like, okay, that's right, bro. Yeah. And you need to have that person in your life. You know what I'm saying? At least one. Hey, if all your squad can be like that's awesome. But having those people in your life that are like, no, you tripping on yourself. I'm not gonna let you trip on my friend. My friend is the bomb. You're brilliant. Go ahead and do it. And just doing it scared, I think would be my biggest thing that I've taken away from the imposter syndrome jumping on me. I'm still a work in progress. But when I feel it rising up, I kind of just had that talk with myself, and then I call somebody real quick, like, okay, let me reach out to my village. Yes, praise me, praise me, praise me. Because I do that to other people all the time. And it's so funny that you cannot see the brilliance in yourself like other people see, but you can see everybody else's brilliance. So I think that keeping those people around you that's not going to let you talk yourself down off of the pedestal that you should be on. Because I think
I don't know if I should say this on the internet, but I'm gonna say it anyway. So this is advice that I've heard. Like when you're walking into interviews or when you're asking for stuff or jobs, like you need to put your mindset of you are a middle-aged man, okay?
I've heard that.
Because they
go for everything. They only
even if they're not qualified,
they only one requirement and they go. We trying to meet all 10, and then we still don't know we meet all 10. Yes, absolutely.
That's what you are, like in your mind. You have to think that, like, clearly you're not
right,
but you have to
take
have
on
that kind of like gall to be like, no, I know what I'm doing. I'm here. Even if I'm not as qualified, you go get this work. You know what I'm saying? Like you just have to just walk with like a level of confidence. Like, I don't care if I'm not qualified.
Right, exactly.
You will have to see me.
Exactly.
But we are qualified, and that's the thing. Like,
exactly.
So
I think that like also having a mantra too, like I am qualified, I can do this, and you gonna kill me, but my battery is really low. So you can tell we black out here because we dealing with everyday problems. We did another video before this, and I'm moving like I said, and so I'm so far from the outlet, and I was like, oh my gosh. But I think that we definitely made all of the great points in the discussion, and let us know in the comments, if you've had experience with imposter syndrome, what you've done, how it made you feel, how you got yourself pulled out of it. And before we go, I'm going to remember to do this every time. If I don't pull out, remember this, like, share, and subscribe our channel. Please, please, please. We really want to help people out here.
Yeah. Subscribe, push that button.
Yes, please. And if you're looking at these lovely shirts we have on, we have our merch, Melanated and Educated t-shirts. So you can rock it, because you're melanated and educated. So we'll be able to have our links on so that you can go ahead and buy those shirts. So when we post the videos and everything, we'll make sure that's out there so you can buy our merch from Icing on the Cake.
Even if you are not melanated and you want to support, this could be a great talking piece. Like, oh, well, there's this podcast that I listen to, like,
Exactly.
I'm trying to exclude you. Like, you could definitely spend your money.
Yeah, so we thank you for rocking with us. We will see you on the next episode. Peace out.
Yeah.